the fact that we have those disparities in this particular field is really speaks to the problem itself. So the way that I have positioned myself in the work that I do is in accepting and acknowledging that it doesn't matter where a woman is on the spectrum or in her life course, if you will, she will be impacted one way or another by whatever current medical interaction is going on. So by that I mean a young girl, an adolescent girl, a pregnant woman, a perimenopausal woman, a menopausal woman. Doesn't really matter where she is along the line. Her reproductive health is going to be impacted because of the institutionalization of the way we manage reproductive health and the way we manage it even more differently for people of color or people of marginalized groups. And we jeopardize their health and their outcomes because we have a system that says, this is okay. We've been doing it this way for a long time, and so we can continue. So, it does make a difference. And I think that the work that I've been able to do has shown me, at least, and I believe other people are doing similar work, that you can actually change, eradicate, mitigate those outcomes by a few little tweaks. There's not a lot that needs to happen in order to redress the balance and close the disparity gaps. So I've got my interest in the perinatal field because I am a midwife and I provide prenatal care, postpartum care, and I do also deliver babies. But in the biggest area where I have impact, in the prenatal care period, I have found that simply listening, opening up to suggestions from the woman herself and her family, hearing about her best way that she would like to have the experience and what she wants to do, those few things, which actually cost no money whatsoever, those little changes are enough to elicit complete trust, complete willingness to disclose, truthfulness, compliance, you name it. All of these things come forward once a person feels that she is being heard. And even though that doesn't impact how I measure the uterus or check the urine or take a blood pressure, it impacts how that woman in her relationship with me or my staff now feels some agency and power around her experience. And subsequently, who knows quite how, physiology changes. So I say that because we have proof year in and year out that the women in our practice who are more on the social risk scale than on the medical risk scale, most of the women who are maybe low income or of color are going full term, healthy mother, healthy baby. We see very little preeclampsia, very little gestational diabetes, very little anemia, because we can get ahead of it early. We can provide real and practical, tangible ways of addressing problems before they get out of hand. We keep a continuity piece because there's a trust relationship. We work with the families to get them where they need to get to. And what we found out in doing this work was really every woman just wants to get to term. Every woman wants a healthy baby. That's it. Like, that is the one leveling factor that we can agree on. No one's arguing with us on this point. There isn't such a thing as a person who's like, I don't care if my baby falls out at 28 weeks. That is not so. So taking on the whole piece of the pregnancy, the holistic approach, we recognize that much of the pregnancy is in the mind. It's not so much in the belly, but in the mindset, in the environment, in the support or lack thereof, in the education or lack thereof. But all of this is done through conversation, through opportunities within the health systems, whether it's in the waiting room where we sit and have an ongoing support group, or whether it's in the exam room where the practitioner spends, meaningful quality time listening and working in tandem, working as a team member rather than as a, standing over a person and wagging a finger. Where in a postpartum group meeting, women are going to be able to express their concerns and if they're depressed. So all of these things that we offer are somewhat peripheral to the actual application of the medical care, the physical application of the prenatal or postpartum exam. These things have been absolutely instrumental in the turnaround, and year in and year out, the statistics prove our point. This is a very small clinic that we run in the grand scheme of clinics. We see between 800 and 1,000 women annually, with a team of licensed midwives who are direct entry midwives, not nurse midwives, paraprofessionals that we've trained ourselves, medical assistants that we've trained ourselves. Very cost-effective model, but very effective in delivering this care, such that when women go into the hospital and now they are delivered by the obstetricians or the nurse midwife teams on staff, they have the best outcomes. Their C-section rates are way lower, 10 points lower than the rest of the community. These women go in empowered and they come out with a full-term baby in their arms and everybody wins.